What's going on, guys? I'm gonna make my very first Unreal Engine tutorial today. It's gonna show you how to animate Stormtroopers and get them into Unreal Engine 5.1, and we're gonna get motion capture onto these guys. We're gonna go to Sketchfab, Stormtrooper. And the reason why I chose this one is because it's already rigged and game ready. So for you beginners, when you have a 3D character like this, you need the character to have an actual rig, meaning a skeleton within the body. That's what you need for it to be animated. And without that rig, you can't animate this. So I'm gonna hit this download button, which I've already done. I've already downloaded this file, so I'm gonna close this. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna pull my character in here, make a new folder, Stormtrooper. I'm gonna drag the FBX file that I've downloaded, drop it right here. Make sure you have the skeleton unchecked. Nothing here. These are checked. Pretty much the default should be the way to go. Use TO as ref pose, have that checked. Have all of these checked. I mean, there's no animation, so I really don't need that. But it doesn't matter if you have that checked either. Alright, import all. This message will pop up, you can just ignore it. And basically this is what it's going to look like when you import. These materials we're going to have to rebuild. So, okay, when you import this, you'll get a skeletal mesh, a physics asset, and a skeleton. What we're going to do first is go ahead and create a animation blueprint. Right click on the skeletal mesh, go to create animation blueprint. ABP, you can name this whatever you want. I'm going to call it Stormtrooper. Alright, open that up, double click. First and foremost, make sure you have the plugin Rokoko Live installed. Okay, Rokoko Studio Live. Make sure this is checked on. If you don't have this even showing up, then you'll have to download the actual plugin from the Epic Games Marketplace. But yeah, once you have this, right click, Rokoko Body Pose, drag that in here. And then we're going to create a couple of variables. One is Rokoko actor name. Make sure you select this part and make it a name as the actual type. And then from here, drag this into the anim graph. Get Rokoko actor name. Plug it right in here. Hit compile. And here you'll be able to change the name. I'm gonna put my name right here because this is what's gonna be showing in my Rokoko Studio as the actor name. We'll get to that in a second here, but right now we're just setting this up. Okay, what else do we need in here? Now we need to add another variable called the Rokoko Body map. This one though, you're gonna have to type in Rokoko Body map data class reference. Drag that in, same deal. Drag that into retarget asset, and your thing should look like this. Compile, and then you'll be able to see this part. You can select the body map. Now, I'm going to leave in the description a folder that has all of the body maps, the templates in here. But if you are going to a custom character, you'll have to create your own body map. You're going to go here, blueprint class. Rokoko body map. Rokoko body map data. hit that, select. Alright, you can name it whatever you want. You know, for this one, I'm actually going to import my own, but essentially you would open this up, and then you're also going to go to your animation blueprint of the Stormtrooper. Click this little part to show the skeleton. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is just kind of pull that, the body map blueprint out a little bit like this, so you have two windows. And what you're going to do is look at the skeleton of your Stormtrooper right here. You got the pelvis right there, spine 1, spine 2, spine 3, and you're basically going to match it to what's over here. So let me show you what that means. Hip is the pelvis, so I'm actually going to copy the name right there and put it right here, paste. Alright, and then spine 1 is pretty much going to be the stomach, although, you know, depending on your character, you just want to make sure whichever one you pick is where the stomach is. So I'm going to go with spine 2 actually, because, and sometimes it does take a few turns before you can really get this right, but let's see what happens with this one. Spine 2 for the stomach, spine 3 is going to be the chest. It's kind of the chest area. Neck, to go neck 01. Head, it's head already, so it doesn't matter. We'll leave that. Clavicle, that's the left clavicle. So that's going to go to left shoulder. And then upper arm, left. Goes here. Upper arm left. Left forearm. It's going to be the lower arm in this case. So this part is a little tedious, but it's pretty straightforward. You just want to make sure, you know, the Rokoko bone map is pretty straightforward. It kind of tells you exactly which body part it should be. You just want to make sure that your skeleton that you're working from is, you know, matching up, right? So this is the UE mannequin, so it's actually gonna look exactly like that. Go to the hand, left hand. Right shoulder, it's going to be right clavicle. So basically you're going to go through this entire bone map and copy and paste all of these. The hard part is really the fingers. For example here, right hand. Let's go to the right hand. Where is it? Where is it? Right hand. So let's see here. Whoa, way too big. Never mind. But I was going to say for your fingers, right? So let's say your left, let's just take left thumb. Left thumb proximal. It's going to be left thumb 01. Oops. Medial. It's going to be left thumb 02. And then left thumb 03. And then for the thumb tip, you're gonna delete that, get rid of it. You don't want anything there. Alright, and you're gonna do that for all of the fingertips of all your bones. So go ahead and go through all of that. If you are doing the Stormtrooper exactly like I am now, you can actually download the bone map, which I've already created for you, and just go ahead and use that, just to make things a little easier. So go ahead and download it, and basically you'll open up your content drawer and take the file, download the file. It'll be a UA asset.ua asset, and then it's downloading. Okay, then you're just gonna drag this. Oops. Just drag it in here into the same folder if you want, or wherever you want to put it. Wait a minute. Oh, you know what? Okay, let's do. I'm gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna put it into the folder of my. I'm gonna put it into my actual folder here. So I'll go into the content folder, and I'll go into my bone maps, and then I'll just, you know, paste it in here. So the UE man bone map. Let's see if this works. And then it should just appear once you've pasted it into the actual file explorer folder. Now we can go back to our animation blueprint, go to the body map section, and you should be able to select UE man bone map. Alright, you're gonna have to compile this, or actually hit apply and then compile. Now you have the bone map set right here. Okay, so now what we want to do is create a new blueprint class. Alright, so right click, blueprint class, actor. I'm gonna call this is actually our blueprint for the Stormtrooper. So BP underscore Stormtrooper. And you know what, I'm gonna just put this guy into that folder just to make things organized. Go in here, open that up, get rid of that. Here I'm gonna add a skeletal mesh component. Going to event graph, which is actually a tab right here, and you're going to drag this skeletal mesh in here, get anim instance, cast to. You're going to get your animation blueprint that we created for the Stormtrooper earlier. Alright, boom. Take your event begin play node, connect it in there. Here, drag it out. Set Rokoko actor name. Okay, connect this part, target. And then here you're going to put your, whatever the name is in your Rokoko Studio. For me, it's my name. Compile. Okay, this is set up. Now go into the viewport, skeletal mesh. You're gonna have to choose your skeletal mesh asset. So here, it's called Stormtrooper. Select it. Now you see your actual mesh in here. We're gonna fix up the materials in a second here, but that will be kind of the last step. Always compile. We can get rid of this now. Oh, you know what? We gotta set the pose. The pose is not set because it's in an A pose, and it needs to be set into a T pose. And if you don't set the T pose, that's probably when you're gonna see some issues. So in order to set that pose, we're gonna go into the skeleton. You know, if you don't see this part, go into your animation blueprint and click the little skeleton. That'll take you to the skeleton tab. From here, we're gonna manually set the pose. So I'll leave the pose asset here as well that I've created, but you're probably, if you want to spend a little more time, you can actually get this looking pretty good. It basically needs to be in a T pose, but like a very specific T pose. It needs to be perfect. And we can mess with this a little bit depending on how the animation looks already, but this is pretty good. Go up here, create asset, create pose asset, current pose. And then I'll put it into the same folder. Click OK. You can rename it to whatever you want. Down here you can see this is pose underscore 0. And that's basically what I'm going to name it. Go back into your animation blueprint and let's see here. Rokoko. I think I just have to drag the file in here actually. So you'll see I put it right here. Just drag it in here. Okay, right click on it, convert to pose by name. Okay, and then put that as the pose underscore 0, which is what was in the right here. Okay. Now, remember I'm in the animation blueprint right now. Connect this to the pose, and when I compile it, it'll set the guy to the T pose. Okay. Now I go in here, I can pull out my animation blueprint, Stormtrooper, and I'm gonna go ahead and open up Rokoko Studio. Oops. Rokoko Studio, if you guys don't know, is the software that you can use to get motion capture using the Rokoko suits. Full disclosure, I do work for them as a product specialist based in Los Angeles, so I'm a little bit biased, but I do think this product is the best for, you get the most bang for your buck. I'm gonna just show you just a stream from a mocap file that I created. However, just know that you can actually connect your suit right here and essentially get live streamed directly into Unreal Engine. Alright, but this works the same way. I'm playing back a pre-recorded animation that I did just earlier. I'll turn this on to stream into Unreal Engine. One thing to note here though is the port number 14043. Okay, I'm gonna move that aside right now. Oh, and another thing to notice, my actor name, this needs to be what's on the animation blueprint under Rokoko actor name. So that's streaming right now. I'm going to go into Unreal Engine, Windows, Virtual Production, make sure Live Link is turned on. And actually I already have the tab open here. But if you don't see this tab, you're going to have to install the plugin. So go back into Settings, Plugins, make sure Live Link is enabled, and I believe you need Live Link XR as well. Okay, and then you'll be able to get Live Link here. Make sure Rokoko Studio is enabled, or else you won't see this drop down. I'm going to select Studio, and right here you can see my data is coming through. You should see this. If you don't see this, then it's not connected. Let's see what happens when we click Simulate. Nothing. Why? It's because our animation blueprint, the blueprint itself is not set yet. So with your actual Stormtrooper blueprint open, with the skeletal mesh selected, you're going to come over here. Anim class, you're going to select the animation blueprint Stormtrooper that we created earlier. Boom. Now compile. But you can see the animation is already on my Stormtrooper. One thing I forgot to mention is yours might not work yet, and that's because you have to add. So go in here, and you can search. Just hit S and you'll be able to search, and you can type in Rokoko Receiver. Okay, make sure you grab that, drag it into your scene. I already have mine in here, which is right here. With that selected, in the details panel, you'll be able to check your Rokoko port number. Remember earlier when I showed you Rokoko Studio? Make sure this number is right here. Okay, because I think by default it's actually 45. So just make sure that's matching up, and then everything should work. Make sure this is streaming, and then you're going to have motion capture onto your Stormtrooper, and you can make your Stormtrooper do anything you want. Now, what about the materials, you ask? Okay, I'll actually just use the materials that were in here already. Body, let's open that up. You can get rid of that. When you downloaded your asset, you have to drag the textures. Drag the textures. If I can do this, come on. You're gonna grab the textures, just drag them in here, drop them into your content folder. Time. Okay, so now it's imported. There are these little files right here. And then with your material open, I'm going to just drag the body stuff over first. So this one says body. We'll try the one in the body. Body. Occlusion body. So with this one, where it says diffuse, connect to the base color. This one versus occlusion, you're gonna go ahead and connect it right here. And actually, I'm not gonna connect this normal because I noticed something was wrong with it. And actually, yeah, it made it look a little weird when that was connected. But yeah, once your material is, so now we actually use the material right there. So if you go into your skeletal mesh, you'll notice this got replaced already. But if this is not replaced, then drag your material into the slot for the body. So now you can see the body actually has texture on it. And now we're going to do the same for the helmet as well as the hands. Okay, so the helmet, let's get rid of that. Where was it? The helmet texture. This one. Drag it in, connect to the base color, make sure you save, apply, don't freeze. Okay, so now you see the face has the material on there now. Now we do for the hands. Hands, get rid of this. Hands, texture for the hands. Connect to the base color. I think that's the only one. Oh, there's occlusion for hands as well. So do that. Honestly, I mean, this works for what I'm just trying to demo, but if you guys know of a more technical way to set these up, I mean, I think this is pretty basic. But again, I'm not an expert here. Okay, so now we have our Stormtrooper. Hands up. Make sure you click simulate or else this is not going to work. Okay, so now I've got my Stormtrooper powered by the mocap, and from here actually if I go into Windows I can use take recorder. Where is it? Now cinematics, take recorder, drag your blueprint Stormtrooper in here. Okay. Now if I hit, well, I'm gonna hit simulate, and I'm gonna hit record. Now it's gonna record everything I'm doing right now. Okay. And then when I stop this, this actually gets recorded into an animation sequence. Check it out. Go back to your content folder. There's going to be a cinematics folder. Go into takes. This is the one that just got created right now. So if I go into this scene, this is my... Now there's two because, you know, we still have our previous blueprint, but if I just move this guy out of the way, I have this Stormtrooper already. Look, I scroll back and forth, this is what we just recorded. We recorded that from an actual mocap recording. And then from here I can add a camera. Well, make sure you unlock this. So you can add a camera right here. Change the aperture, change the lens. And there you have it. There you have it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a Stormtrooper powered by Rokoko Studio, Rokoko mocap suit in Unreal Engine 5.1. Look at this. Leave a comment. Let me know what other tutorials you guys want to see. And if this helped you at all, let me know.